So we'll go on to the next aspiration catheter system, which had been with us for quite some time, the AS068, and then it had moved to JET, and then the Penumbra system, meaning the red aspiration catheter system. And I have Mr. Shyam to explain to us the process of why these aspiration catheters have changed and what is it that red has to offer. Please.
I would just like to correct one small thing that with the React 68, it's compatible with the balloon guide catheter. The 71 is not. So that's why the React 68 was introduced. Thanks.
Check. Hello again, guys. Reperfusion catheter. So Penumbra primes itself with adapt technology. So we are believers of aspiration, and that's where we put all our effort into it, and we continuously try to get feedback from physicians like you and try to improve the technology. So this is great segue. So one thing, we have been marketing A68 across the world. Now, recently we moved to 72 series. So what are the differences and why we moved in that? So I'll try to explain as much as I can. And definitely red has all the inputs, lots of the inputs that we got from the field. And we have included that in incorporating in developing that product line, and it's been great hearing the feedback. A lot of good feedbacks about red. In India, we have just launched 8 months ago, so the feedback has been tremendous. So thank you for using whoever have been using it. So ACE technology. So ACE series of products. So we have A68, we also have A60, 64. So there are a series of products that were brought into the market. It's the improvement that they did at the time when we launched A62 was it's the trackability of the product. So it's improved how I'll show you in the upcoming slides, and it's we have the engine to go along with it. At the time we launched the improvised pump max. So and then with this we did study to get on-label indication for stroke revascularizations. I'm going a little bit behind the time. So this is what happened at the time. So why it tracks better? So it's a new proximal polymer segment. So they used a polymer segment that helps maximizes the pushability, and unique coil winding geometry creates optimal tracking profile, and it has 16 transition zones, enable 1-to-1 force transition. So there is a continuously variable the transition zones, so that helps it from distal. It's stiffer to making it proximal softer. So, and also they improved the design of the tip. It's a atraumatic tip that improved the navigation also. So looking at other improvements, so construction, so resistant to compressive pressure, how it's maintained, it helps to maintain the lumen integrity and reduces the risk of collapse. Under aspiration, extended flexible and distal shaft allows improved tracking through tortuous anatomy. And then it's 068 lumen. At the time, this is the biggest, one of the biggest diameters for aspirating the clot. So, and then the bevel tip helps obviously to help navigate the tortuous anatomy. So these are the sizes. At the time, we still have it, but mostly in India, you would have seen only the A68, and then A64 and A60 also were there. So it's the 68 is the 068, OD at the distal, and then which is equivalent to 2.03 millimeter, and it came in 132 centimeter length. And the A64, it's tapered at the tip to help navigate to distal vessels. It's 064, the proximal remains 068, A60, which is 060, whereas the proximal it stayed 068. Again, in India, probably this is the only, the A68 was the only one that was launched, so just ignore these two. So we do have this in other markets, but now this has been replaced with red, so A68 is almost history in most of the countries. Again, effective flow lumen, that's the measure how much aspiration power this catheter has. So A68, it's 068, 067 because of the tapering. It reduces its effective flow lumen, and then it's 0.066. So this is how they measured, the dimension of tapered catheter. So it's just measuring the volume based on that includes the tapering effect also. So we did have the 060 also as an ACE catheter with using the ACE technology. So, but just to summarize before I jump into red, so this is the whole family of the products until before we launched red. So 068 and then 064, 060, and then 4 max, 3 max. They are even they can be a support DDC, or they could be a reperfusion catheter also. So that's something. The 3 max comes in the length 158 centimeters. So Velocity is another catheter. So it's a support catheter. It's at 160 centimeters. So of course we talked about Neuron Max. So now this is the crux. So I wanted to come to this by talking about ACE. So a lot of improvements that went into red series of catheters. So the red is some of the features that has been improved in red compared to our previous series is the coating technology that we have. We call it red glide technology. So that's I don't want to call it patented, but it's a proprietary patent technology. Proprietary coating technology that really helps for the catheter to track well, which is a huge improvement for this red. So what are the sizes red comes in? So it's 72, 68, and 62. So the three sizes depending on the needs. We say which one to use. We say it depends on the vessel size. So if the vessel size allows, by looking at the vessel size, you can pick either red 72 or red 68 or red 62. As you go distal, so the smaller the catheter. So just to compare, so as I talked about the red glide technology, so designed to enhance delivery and tortuosity. One thing to know about red glide technology, typically we ask how to activate the hydrophilic coating, you wipe it off. But in our case, this red coating is so good. We tell you to put it in the saline, let it be there even for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, longer the better. It activates the hydrophilic coating better, and you see the results better. So that's something I want to point out here. So these are the dimensions. So 62, it's of course, the name 62 comes from the ID 062 of an inch. And OD is 1.93 millimeter. So picking of the vessel, any vessel that's bigger than 1.2 millimeter, give and take, yes, this catheter is going to track well and reach the lesion area. And then the length it comes, this is 138 centimeter length, so 138 centimeter length. And then 68, it's similar to A68, 068 ID, 2.13 OD. And then 132 centimeter length. 72, that's the biggest ID, it's 072 of an inch. The OD is 2.16 millimeter, and then it also comes at 132 centimeter length. So you have 3 different choices depending on the vessel size, depending on the location, so you can pick which is the right for that particular patient. So now let's look at red little bit in detail. So the design, how it's designed. So it's delivers the highest TRF. TRF is nothing but measuring of the force with which the aspiration could be done. It's 2.16 millimeter outer diameter. It has the articulating markers. A marker band designed to improve the tip softness. What it does is it helps to track at the tip. I have a video to show, so how it doesn't get caught in the tortuous anatomy, and it tracks smoothly. So that way you are sure it's going to go where you want it to go. And the red glide coating, so that is a proprietary Penumbra technology that we developed in-house. So it has enhanced the distal hydrophilic coating for smooth trackability. 30 centimeter distal, that's where the coating is located. We have coated our catheters. So 132 centimeter length, so it gives you the enough length to reach. So this is really a good catheter. So we have a lot of good feedbacks, physicians who have used it. So again, I talked about the tip. This is the picture of the articulating tip to improve the tip softness. So you see a lip, and then so that helps this tip to bend when it hits a tortuous anatomy, and it takes the curve much better. So that's the advantage of this articulating tip. And then the coating, as I mentioned, so it's a very unique coating, and we have shown in our benchtop models that this tracks much better, this red glide technology, compared to our previous coating technologies. And then it has 20 material transition zones. So so it has the combination of proximal stainless steel and then nitinol hybrid coil wind. So nitinol is little softer, but it's forgiving. Whereas stainless steel, it's much tough material. So we use proximally stainless steel for pushability, and for softness the nitinol. So it's a hybrid coil wind, and the progressive distal nitinol coil wind. So as it goes distal, you'll see more nitinol coil winds. Laser welded transitions, which is very unique. It's very difficult to weld stainless steel and nitinol together. So that's something Penumbra has mastered and used this in this designing of this product. And it has full length PTFE line for durability. This is very important. So if you, especially when you're putting some other device through it, and also with our Penumbra engine, which produces negative 29 pure atmospheric inches of mercury pressure. So you don't want the catheter, the tip of the device to collapse. So this PTFE liner also helps to keep that tip of the lumen fully open, so your aspiration power is max. It's delivered with a 3-max or a velocity microcatheter, and then it's again you can use Neuron Max or BMX 096. We don't have BMX 096 here, so but again our engine. Most of you have the new technology. We used to have the Pump Max. Now we have the engine, which is much easier to use and which has much better aspiration power. So looking at the 68, again its ID is 068, and then there, it's 2.13 millimeter outer diameter. It has the same red glide coating, and the length it comes in 132 centimeter. Some of the things, it has the similar atraumatic tip design, red glide coating, a progressive distal nitinol coil wind. It becomes continuously softer distal profile for atraumatic navigation, and it has 16 material transition. That the other Red 72 had 20 material transition. Excuse me. And then it can be delivered with 3-max or velocity microcatheter, and then it's powered by Penumbra engine also. So just to show, okay, since Red 68 and A68 has similar, exactly the same profile, so this shows with the red glide, it's 44% less friction than original coating. So it definitely has better trackability because of this red glide coating. I think, here it's a video. So this video is to show on a bench top how different it is. So everything remains the same except the catheter. So we just compared our own catheter. So this is A68. As the distance gets better, it gets difficult to push it, so it stops right there. Now with the same setup, everything remains the same except 68. This is the red 68. And it keeps going because it takes the edges better. So as you see, and also the red glide helps it to track better. So the difference is pretty significant. So and just a way to explain the difference, how the red has improved with the stackability. So now coming to 62, this is a very unique product. So we have gotten a lot of traction with this red 62 since we launched here also. Here is the profile. So it's the ID is 0.062 lumen. So and then the OD is 1.93 millimeters. So very, very small, I mean, compared to 68 and 72. And then it comes at 138 centimeter length, so longer, so it can go further distal. Engineered to, it uses the same red glide technology, and it tracks well with the unique tip technology. So the similar as red 72, it has the articulating marker band with shorter polymer tip. So we don't have a long tip, so that helps in improving the trackability. And then red glide coating, and then progressive distal nitinol coil wind to make it track atraumatic navigation and then it has 11 material transition zone. So, and it's laser well transition, and it's a combination of stainless steel and nitinol hybrid coil wind technology. So it's truly an engineered product. So red. So it really the results are as you could see when you use it in the lab. So we have heard a lot of good feedbacks for red. So we are almost we have moved to almost 80-90% of our sales now in India comes from red. Thank you.
Mr. Shyam, thank you so much. Is there any questions on red aspiration catheter systems? Is there anything that you would like to ask? Yeah.
So again, that's why it's about the vessels. The question is...
You can use this.
The question is how far the red 62 can go. So it depends on the vessel size. So if the vessel size is 2 millimeter, close to 2 millimeter, it can go for way distal. So again, it comes to we say it's depending on the vessel size. So because it can track well, so it can. I've seen a lot of distal applications. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shyam. So